And a wonderful, wonderful good evening to everybody. And thank you so much for joining us here tonight on YouTube on our live stream. Tonight, we're going to discuss how we can turn our negative emotions into positive outcomes. So, if you're on our channel and you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so every time that we're coming on live, that you'll be notified. And yeah, give us a big thumbs up. Right. So tonight, like I said, I want to talk about how we can take our negative emotions and turn it into our own positivity. So when I was really thinking about the topic for tonight, I had a client question where the client asked me about negative emotions. And she said, just how are we supposed as people to deal with negative emotions that keep coming up? And how can I change this into more a positive way forward? You know, when I really thought about this, I realized that this is a common problem for many people in our everyday life. Many people face this daily. Okay, so if you're wondering what to do with these feelings, let me tell you. Number one rule is that we are never alone. There are so many people out there that's struggling with negative emotions. Many people have the same questions about stress and coping with moving forward, making changes in their lives. So, as you can see, we're a bunch of people together and we're all sitting in this, right? So, when we feel overwhelmed with negative emotions like hurt, frustration, irritation, anger, we know we shouldn't pretend that we're okay because we're not okay. We are facing a reality. This is a reality, right? Feeling angry or frustrated can be, for me, a signal that something need to change, right? Point number two, it's I have to make the changes, right? Tonight I'm going to discuss more than just 10 points or 4 points or 6 points, because I really want you to understand what we are dealing with, right? If you don't change your situation or your thought patterns, they are causing these uncomfortable emotions. And these emotions will continue to trigger more and more unless we deal with this. Right. So, what can we do to fix this negative feeling? And how can we put a step by step process in place that will help us make these changes? Now, if you hear the questions that I just asked, you'll understand these are key questions. I always believe in looking at questions and let them trigger a positive way for me forward. Right. So for tonight, I'm going to share with you 4 important points that I use to remind myself and how I can use it to consider while I'm dealing with a situation. Then after that, I'm going to share with you 10 things that you need to remember when you're feeling these emotions and how you can move out of the negativity and move into positivity. So before I continue and get into those 4 points, if you are here tonight, please leave a comment in our live chat section. For those who work on your phone, you'll see at the bar at the bottom, it say live chat. Hit on that. It's going to open your chat for you. And let me see who is online with us. Say hi and where you're from. Let's have some communication because I love to communicate with people. Let's see who's here. I see Paul is here, and that's amazing. Let's see if there's anybody else coming through. Right. Homework au pair is also here tonight. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. Homework au pair. Right. Let's move into our 4 important points. I think for me, I just want to relax and chat with you guys tonight. So I'm going to sit a bit more forward so I can really look you in the eye. Right. So let's look at the 4 points. If I look at a negative emotion or a situation, I think the first thing for me is I have to deal with this negative emotion. Because if we are not dealing with these feelings that we are feeling, they can cause problems in many levels, like physical, mental, emotional health. So for me, it is so important to listen to my emotions and then take steps to let go of it. You know, letting go is also a choice. Making change is a choice. We we have choice, right? I'm going to go in the second important point, and that is, I think, understand the emotion that I'm feeling, right? I've got to look inside myself and try to pinpoint the situations that are creating the stress and the negative emotions in my life. Negative emotions can come from something that trigger in that moment. Maybe something like I feel overloaded with work, um, school kids going to school. Let's face reality. We're sitting in a situation which they call COVID-19. Now, end of March, we were all put in this thing of isolation. Can't go out, you can't drive, you cannot go for dinner, you can't go for coffee breaks, and you're just stuck inside your house. Then we start thinking about work and what's going to happen with work. I've got so much to do. And kids start thinking about schoolwork. What am I doing with schoolwork? Are we going to fall behind? And this is exactly what happened. Can you see how this creates stress? Now, sitting alone for me, and I think about this, sitting alone and you've really got nothing to do, my mind starts thinking more and more. And that triggers a lot of negativity sometimes within us. And that is where the emotion or the negative emotion comes from for me. Now that we're back at work and back at school, the pressure is so much to catch up, to get that sales, because we still got a target market or target that we got to reach at the end of the day. Now, negative emotions are also the result of our thoughts that surrounding this moment or this event. And the way we interpret what happened can alter how we experience the event or the moment that we experience, and whether or not it causes any stress. Now, if you really think about this, it's not fun to be stressful. It's not fun to have these negative thoughts. So if you're online here and you agree with me, please do type in the chat section, the live chat section, that you agree with me. And if you've been through these emotional, negative emotions and not sure what to think about life at this moment and during lockdown, please do write it down so we can have a communication. I like watching what people are saying, and I like learning. We all here to learn. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, do hit the like button, guys. Right. So the key job of your emotion, let's get into this, is to get you to see the problem. Because when we see the problem, we can take the necessary steps to make the changes for ourselves. I'm going in point number three, the important point number three: change what you can. Now, we know it's not always easy to make a change. It is already hard enough because if you're sitting in that negative emotion or negative feeling, the last thing you want to think about is what can I change? But in actual fact, this is really what you need to do, is to look at what can I change? Take what you have learned from everything that I just said in the past few minutes and start putting it into practice. Cut down on your stress triggers. Those things that trigger you to feel stressed. Take those. Start cutting them out. Start cutting them away, because you'll find that your feelings of negativity will disappear. Right, today I was doing a little bit of research, and I love research. And I find a website, and I'm really going to give a shout out to them. And the website is called verywellmind.com. They've got the most beautiful sayings, they've got the most beautiful things on their page. So if you ever need to look at anything, then or do some research, and I'm sure you're going to do research after my next step, um, do follow them. Go see what they have to say. Right. The next one I want to bring in is to learn the practice of assertive communication. Now, for me, when I thought about it, was like, oh wow, what a big word. But then when I really do the research, I understood how easy the process can be. Now, I'm going to read a little excerpt that I took from the website. So if you allow me to read it, I'm just going to look at my screen here. Right, let's explain this. Assertiveness is the ability to express one's feelings and assert one's rights while respecting the feelings and rights of others. Assertive communication is appropriately direct, open, and honest, and clarifies one's needs to the other persons. Apologize about that. My phone wants to talk with me. Right. The last section, I would say assertiveness comes naturally to some, but it's a skill that can be learned. I like that. People who have mastered the skill of assertiveness are able to greatly reduce the level of conflict in their lives. And for that reason, they reduce the source of stress. Like I said, it's so beautiful when I was reading this while I'm doing research. So I'm going to leave the link below in the comment section if you want to read more on this. And I'm going to give it another shout out again, verywellmind.com. That's where you can find that. Let's look at the important point number 4 is about finding a positive outlet. Making changes in our lives, like we all know, can be hard, right? But it also helps us to cut out the emotions or the negative emotions. But it doesn't mean it won't eliminate the stress. I think you can agree with me, right? So if you agree, let me see it in the comment section. It looks like everybody's so shy to comment tonight. Right. So as we're busy making changes in our life, we need to look at what we can find that is positive and what are things that we can do to help us get out of that negative emotion. Now, when I look at it, the first thing that comes to mind was meditation. Now, I use meditation in a different way of thinking for myself because a lot of people will think meditation is connected to a religion. For me, it's not all about the religion. If I look at meditation, my version of meditation say it is the quieting of my mind. It helps me to stop thinking. What meditation do for me, it helps me to find an inner space to work from so I can actually deal with my feelings and my emotions so it doesn't become overwhelmed. Meditation helps me to calm down. It helps me to breathe deeply. It helped me to focus, but it also helped me to let go of things that I don't need to hold on to. So you can see meditation can be good. And like I said, I'm not connecting it to a religion. It's just something that I like working with. A few things that we can look at is start doing yoga. Um, that will take your mind off the negativity. Maybe go run, play squash, maybe read a motivational book. What about writing your own story, writing your own book? You know, we all have stories of our lives. We all have experiences. Put it out in words. Put it in a book. Maybe go dance, make music, sing. I love singing and I love making music. For me, it's all about having fun, but also having the space where I can just be me. Whatever makes you happy. And I'm sure you're going to find a space and a place where you feel happy and that little bubble that makes you feel happy. Right. Let's look at things that will create a positive outlet for us and gives us the end results that we are looking for. If you agree with me, please do leave a comment in the comment section so I can see if you're still with me and you're still listening. Just say hi. I see Diana. Diana, thank you for joining us here live on our live stream. It's nice to see you here. Thank you. Right. Now I'm going to move into our list of 10 things that we need to remember when we are feeling negative and how we can move from that negative emotion into a positive. If you're ready, point number 1, challenges help to mold you. Right. Now, no matter how hard things seem to be, just remember that once you overcome your challenges, you'll be better off. Sometimes we look at challenges and it looks like a huge mountain in front of us. But once we pull ourselves through this whole process and we overcome that, we look back and we normally say, well, that wasn't that bad, you know? And I'm sure we all go through that. Right, point number 2, one of my strongest things that I believe in is that we are stronger than we think, right? We need to stay back. We need to consider actually how strong we are as people. Because I believe we are capable to handle any situation that comes our way. We've got to learn to trust who we are, and we've got to learn to trust in our strengths, because trusting our strengths will allow us to face these challenges, be more positive about it, and build our confidence. So you can see this is also helping us on a personal growth level. Makes sense to you? Right, point number 3, consider your challenges as new opportunities. Once we look at our negative emotions or situations that is ahead of us with a new perspective, we will see that that our struggles are actually opportunities. And this will help us to become better at different areas in our lives. It will even help us to build our inner strengths. Right. Point number 4, be careful what you think. Now, there's a saying that, if I remember correctly, it's say, become the observer and not the thinker. Now, I said that same thing to a client today. It is so difficult sometimes to sit back, observe, and just look at things before we react or before we take action. It is so important not to become the thinker, but more the observer. You see, sometimes we must remember as we face these hard times, we can become our very own worst enemy. Because you know what we do as people? We think too much, we overthink things. And when we get in this negative emotion situation, we overthink. And the more we think about something in a negative light, the harder it's going to become to find the positivity in the situation. I rather spend my time focusing on the positive things so I can feel better about myself, about my situation, about life. So you see, I'm coming back to choice. It is a choice that I'm making. Point number 5, find your inner strength. Now, last week I spoke about inner strength. And there's if you haven't watched the video on YouTube, please go back and watch the replay. Because for me, finding my inner strength will help me through any challenge. It will help me or remind me not to give up. It will help me to deal with things. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what we're going through, we are not the first to go through it, and we won't be the last. Believe in yourself. For me, you've got to believe in yourself to know that you can pull through this. Focus on the outcome rather than your current situation. What is your outcome? What do you want to achieve? Keep that as your vision, as your overall picture. Okay, when we have a goal and we working towards something, we will succeed. So, guys, remember to set those goals. Point number 6, this was something very interesting because I must be honest, I love myself. And when I saw point number 6, when I started writing all of these, point number 6, say, fall in love with yourself. I had to laugh because that put a smile on my face. Because when we are dealing with negativity, it is easier to think that we will never get through the situations. I mean, how often did you sit at home and think, how am I getting through this? How will I get through this? You know, we are facing daily things. But a great way to change your mood from that negative position into a positive is to remember that you are always in control of your life. Because if you love yourself, you know what direction you want to go into. You know that you can control the outcome if you put the steps in the right place. Okay? If you don't like the person you are, why not change it? You need to love yourself. You need to love the person that you are, because that means that you're happy with yourself. You know, I'm just thinking from my point of view. If I'm not happy with who I am, then I'm the only one that have to change that. If you agree with me, do leave a comment in there. I see someone that say Blue Star South Africa. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome, your Blue Star. Point number 7, you are not alone. Like I said earlier, there's many people that's out there that face the same that we do, negative emotions, negative situations. One of the best ways for me to overcome this feeling or this emotion in hard times is to lean on people around me. You know, you might have a mom around you, a dad around you, someone you can bounce things off. Talk with them. Find your strength in others, because that will help you to gain new perspective. It might help you to see things in a different light. Make sense? Right. Point number 8, don't be sensitive. Now, you know, when you're in that position and you really feel down and out and the negative emotions are around you, we are feeling sensitive because anything that comes our way, it's like, oh, you know, we give a reaction. Now, another aspect among the list of things to remember in our challenging times is to remember that we don't need to be sensitive. All we have to do is just take a deep breath, sit back, relax, and remember what I said. Become the observer. Now, with my client, I've got something very cute that I'm using, and I see tremendous successful results from that. And it's called the reaction meter. Now, I'm going to quickly explain that to you. If you draw a straight line and you put it from 0 to 10 as your reaction meter, find the middle, mark it as number 5. Number 5 will be medium reaction. Number 10, obviously, your extreme reaction. And then 0, no reaction. And every time that you're in a situation where you got to make a decision or you need to react to something, scale it first. Give yourself a score out of 10, what you would do, how you would react. I find with my clients, when they use this reaction meter, that they think before they talk, they think before they take action. And with the results that we find is most of my clients now are sitting below 2. Yeah, they used to be on an 8 and a 9, and they have to react and they have to respond. And they start thinking more about how they have to react to things around them. Now, this is just called a reaction meter, but we can use it in any part of life, if you know what I'm saying. From work, how productive was I today? You can score that on the same kind of scale. Right, without any further delay, let's go into point number 9. Know that you might fail. Now, this sounds a bit hard to say that, but even if we fail, doesn't matter. What matters is that we get up and try again. Okay, so one of the best things to remember is that every day and every moment is not going to be perfect all the time. And situations, happen. And it's how we're going to deal with that and look at it from our point of view that we're going to get up and move on. Failure doesn't mean it's the end of everything. It simply just means that I need to stand up, like I say. Today, I scrolled down Facebook and I was watching what people write on their posts. And I found this post where this guy was talking about failure. And at the end of his post, he's putting the word fail, and he actually described each letter of the word fail. And it was so significant for me because I love what I was seeing. So I'm going to give it to you. The word fail, he put it out as first attempt in learning. And I thought about this because for me, why are we stuck in a cycle? Because the more we're stuck in the cycle of failing, the more we relearn the lessons. And then I would start thinking, okay, so first attempt in learning, when is it going to be the second attempt, the third attempt? You know how your brain goes, you start thinking about these things. And I realize if I can change the word first, that means the word fail will remove itself. But I also got to remember that every day I'm also still learning, right? So, yes, that's why I say, know that you might fail. It's okay to fail sometimes. It's how we get up, back on the horse, and take the road, right? Get to the end destination. Our last point, trust your strength to overcome. Now, once we're aware of our weaknesses, we know that we can take them and change them into our strengths because that helps us to become a better person and helps us to face our situations, right? We can deal with this. It is no secret that overcoming negativity is challenging. We know it is. But with some motivation and encouragement, I feel that we can do anything and anything that we set our mind to. I know we're capable of doing this, right? I do think you can agree with me. So let's bring it all together. Negative emotions and thoughts can be changed if we are willing to take on any challenge and see it as opportunities. When we choose to be positive and put positive steps into place, like goal setting, remember that we are not alone because there's many people going through the same situation. And yes, to remember that we can fail again and it's okay to fail sometimes. But the lesson for me in this whole thing is that we can get up and try again. Allow ourselves to be positive. So if you like what you hear tonight and you feel that you've learned something, please do leave in the comment section that you agree with me so I can see your comments. Let's see if there's any comments before we move on. Right. No further comments. Guys, okay, I'm going to recap my list again just so you can be clear on this. And let's go quickly through the 10 points again. Point number 1 was challenge, help to mold you. Number 2 was you are stronger than you think. Point number 3 was consider your challenges as new opportunities. Point number 4, be careful what you think. Remember, I said become the observer and not a thinker. Right. Point number 5, find your inner strength. Depend on your strength inside yourself. Point number 6, fall in love with yourself. Number 7, you are not alone. Number 8, don't be sensitive. Number 9, know that you might fail again. And the last point, number 10, trust your strength to overcome. Now, so here's the deal. I love helping people. Paul love helping people. That's why we're doing what we are doing. And we are ready to help you. So if you need to chat with someone or just bounce some of your emotions or ideas to someone, we are available. Now, I will leave the link in our description below tonight. And if you feel you can chat with us and you're open enough to chat with us, click on that link, book your space. Let's have a chat. Don't delay this. Okay. We are here to help you because we can help you. And we helped many others before you. And many people that we helped had great success. Right? I'm going to leave the link and I want to see some calls coming in. Guys, let's chat. Let's bounce off. Let's help you. Let's help you see direction and find direction. All right. So if you like what you hear tonight and you find that there was valuable information for you, I want you to hit that like button. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so we can notify you every time that we're going to go live, and hit the notification bell, of course, because you need to be notified. And if you think there's someone out there that would enjoy what we were talking about tonight, please share our videos. And I really hope that you've learned valuable information. And all I can say, stay warm, stay safe, and remember to keep smiling. And once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Till next week, good night.